Chromatography techniques are used to identify a substance, determine the purity of a substance, and separate two or more substances in a mixture. There are several techniques of chromatography. To improve the efficiency of candy chromatography, we will use the technique of paper chromatography. As paper chromatography is the best method of separation used in candy chromatography, we will demonstrate and explain the technique of paper chromatography.
To conduct paper chromatography, you will need chromatography paper, sample spots of different sweet dyes, a solvent, a container to contain the solvent, a pencil and a ruler.
Using the pencil and ruler, draw a straight line across the chromatography paper near the bottom edge. This line is called the start line. Draw another straight line across the paper near the top edge. This line is called the finish line. The start line must be drawn with pencil so it will not dissolve in the solvent and affect the experiment.
Extract the dyes from each candy you wish to test. Set the candies down on a clean plate in a single drop of water and leave it for a few minutes to allow the candy to dissolve. Take out the candy and extract the candy dye solution. Place a small sample spot of the candy dye solution onto the chromatography paper on the start line. The sample spot must be small so that there will be no excessive smudging of the chromatogram. Pour the solvent into the container, then suspend the chromatography paper with the sample spots in the container. The sample spots must be positioned just above the surface of the solvent so they will not dissolve into the solvent and affect the experiment.
Observe the sample spots and see what happens to them.
Let the solvent rise up the paper until it is almost at the top. Then remove the chromatography paper from the container. Then use a pencil to draw a straight line across the chromatography paper to mark how far the solvent rose with a pencil. This line is called the solvent front.
How does it work? Different substances have different solubilities in the same solvent. The more soluble substance will dissolve faster into the solvent, so will get carried along by the solvent and move further ahead of the less soluble solutes.